Hi, Professor Amrit Bedi. Welcome on Europedia.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. And Professor Bedi, you are presently Assistant Professor in Computer Science Department,
Yes,
University of Central Florida. And this is
yes,
my, I believe, third interaction with you.
yes,
And as I'm making the sequels of my interactions with you, so you recently joined this university in computer science department as assistant professor, and I would like
yes,
to interact with you and know more about uh, your present activities, present your research domains, and all. And also for all the students who are listening to you, all the people who are listening to you, I would like
mhm,
to bring before them your entire academic journey also, and then we'll be
sure,
discussing about the research domains. So,
okay,
Professor Amrit, we start with your background, and I know
mm,
you since you are graduate in pursuing your engineering. So, we want
yes,
you to tell us which part of India you are from and how was your journey in India,
yes.
academic journey, and then we come to US part.
Yeah, sure, sure. Thank you, Dr. Vijayender. And thank you, first of all, for having me. This is a really good opportunity, and I really honestly believe, like, if this interaction can help some students in clarifying their some doubts or whether even deciding whether they should go for higher studies or not, I would be very happy. So that's my motivation for this interaction. And in terms of my background, obviously, like I'm from Punjab. And I am specifically from the Ropar district area, and I did my like till my 10th. I was in my hometown Nangal Dam, and then I moved for my polytechnic to Ludhiana. I did it from Guru Nanak Dev Polytechnic College, and then I
Mm,
did my BTech from Riyadh and Bahara Mohali campus where I met you. And
mm,
then after I did my master's and PhD from IIT Kanpur, then I did my postdoc with the US Army Research Lab in the US, and then
mm,
I was a research professor at the University of Maryland College Park. And then,
mm,
like, I think January this year, I joined, not I think, I know, I joined
mm,
in January this year, University of Central Florida as an
mm.
assistant professor in the computer science department. So
Okay,
yeah.
so this is very briefly I've told a journey which span more than a decade. So I'll be asking you a couple of things here.
Yes.
Professor Amrit, way back when you were pursuing your polytechnic or you were in colleges, undergraduation and all, had you ever thought that you will someday reach to this position?
Yeah, no,
And this question specifically I'm asking because there are so many students.
yes.
I keep on going to various colleges, like diploma colleges, engineering colleges in remote areas of the India, and there are people, capable people, students like you. But can the student dream to reach the positions at which you have reached right now? तो जो आप कॉलेज में थे when you were there, तो क्या आपने सोचा था someday you'll be reaching this position?
Yeah, so honestly, no. I like honestly speaking, I never even knew what I should even do as next. So
Mm,
it was, I think, I was lucky enough to met people like you, like during my studies, like who were actually able to tell me, because I was not aware enough. And
mm,
honestly speaking, even in my third year of undergrad, it might sound surprising. I was not even aware of, like, India has
mm,
IITs. Like, I'm
mm.
honestly telling you. So
Okay.
after meeting you, I get to know that, oh, there are
Mm,
some institutes in India where, like, you
mm,
can actually do very good studies
mm,
and then do something. So it's
mm,
just the next step, which I thought maybe, like, okay. And
mm,
also, I honestly try to believe, like, if I don't know something, I will follow the
mm,
advice of senior
mm.
people who knows better than me. That is the simple thing
Wonderful.
I did.
Mm.
Like, I don't know anything beyond that. Like, nothing.
Wonderful. So, Professor Bedi, after graduation, what I know is that you wrote GATE exam and then
Yeah.
you joined IIT Kanpur. And if I'm
Yes.
not wrong, it was a direct PhD program. So, please
Yes.
tell us about that particular phase. Like, if you joined after BTech direct PhD, because direct PhD is one of the options which students get after BTech. But why I'm
Yes.
asking this question to you is like there are so many students who keep on getting confused whether direct PhD is the right option or not, why we should go for it, or should we go for
Mhm.
masters first, and whether we should decide that at what stage we should decide that okay, this is the course of action for me, because the moment you go for PhD, then certain things are decided, like you are going to pursue career in industry or academia, but it has to be in R&D or deep research or something. So please tell us about that, why you took that decision, and how was your journey in IIT Kanpur.
Yeah. So again, honestly, like it was not like I had too many options after my undergrad. So that was like
Okay.
one of the only options I had to do direct
Mm,
PhD. And also, I think you might also remember our discussions. Like even I was not aware like whether I should go for PhD or not. Means I was not even
mm,
aware of like what are the requirements of PhD, what would I do,
mm,
what are the requirements. I
mm,
was only aware of masters. I was not even aware of
mm,
oh, what are even expected out of me if I want to join
mm,
PhD. I just went there, interview got cleared,
mm,
and I was in dilemma. I went there, and then even there I was like for first 6 months I felt like, oh,
mm,
I don't want to
mm,
do PhD. This is too much, right?
mm,
Six,
mm,
5, 6 years, and those
mm,
are also undecided. Like it's not like
mm,
masters you will be done in
mm,
2 years, right? Like
mm, mm,
you could take even
mm,
10 years to do PhD. There were
mm,
students doing, and then
mm,
like it was
mm,
totally like uncertain domain
mm,
and without
mm,
any knowledge. And
mm,
when you heard about publication research and something, and you are not even aware of basic concepts,
mm,
everything looks like a monster like when you
mm,
enter.
mm,
But
mm,
I think gradually, like even I thought of like after
mm,
6 months, like okay, let's go do
mm,
master somewhere. Like it is not a
mm,
good thing to spend
mm,
so much time here, and even after that, it is not sure whether you will be successful or not. You are
mm, mm,
nothing is certain, right? And
mm,
honestly, like I had no passion for doing
mm,
research or nothing.
mm,
Like
mm,
I was sure means PhD should be done or not, but it was just like okay, once you get there, slowly
mm,
you
mm,
pass through it, and you
mm,
realize that okay, Lord, there are other students who have the same mentality. You want to do
mm,
something. I
mm,
think like
mm,
being too much
mm,
forward.
mm,
I was not able to do it. Maybe let me put it that. It's not like I intentionally did it. It's not like
mm,
something very interesting. I
mm,
would say don't look forward.
mm,
But if somebody has a vision, definitely one should look and decide. I
mm,
had nothing. Like there was no vision. It was just like
mm,
the okay, what should do? You are here,
mm,
pass the courses, and then you do the
mm,
next step. I
mm,
think was only
mm.
that. Yes.
Okay. So कितने time के बाद, after how much time, things started falling in line for you, or things became
Yeah.
smooth for you? Because as you
I
said,
think
for six
after
months you were totally
third year of my PhD, I was sure like I want to do it.
okay.
Like
So 3 years में
after
ऐसा क्या हुआ? मतलब was it like, does it
I
take
think I
that much of
again
time?
I was so lucky. Like I got my supervisor. I think he
Hmm.
my supervisor. I say that anybody who wants to do PhD in India, he should do with him. Like Dr. Ketan Rajawat from IIT
Okay.
Kanpur. So he's
Okay.
like a
Hmm.
gem of a
Hmm.
person, and he never like judged my
Hmm.
capabilities in that. And I knew like now I can see like I was so bad as a
Hmm.
student. Like
Hmm.
if a professor gets a, even I get a student like myself, I would think twice
Okay.
to take
Hmm.
that student. So
Hmm.
but he was really really calm,
Hmm.
and then he was really like supportive. Like he really
Hmm.
held and then supported. Like okay, no, you can do it, and then you can learn
Hmm.
these things. And
Hmm.
he was
Hmm.
never angry. Even if we say something stupid, he was really supportive. No, you should think
Hmm.
like that. I think
Hmm.
he's the only person who
Hmm.
like really shaped
Hmm.
us. He did it for a
Hmm.
lot of us in our batch. He's
Okay.
very good.
Hmm. Hmm. So after 3 years, now I think that started your real journey in the PhD, and that was the second phase of your PhD, I must say. So how you spent that rest of the time in PhD? Maybe your achievements, like publication of the papers or going for the conferences. तो अगले 3 साल किस तरीके से थे, अगर तीन जो भी आपने टाइम लगाया PhD में?
Yeah, so I think mine was done mostly in like 4.5 years. It
Okay.
was complete. Even in 4 years, it was done. I was like, for 3 months, I was doing 4 months. I was doing internship in the US, and then 1 month. So 5 or 6 months, even within those 4 years, I was doing internship. So mostly, like it everything was completely done between 3 and 4, third and fourth year. I think that was the main part of my PhD
No, no,
when
you are
I
saying
felt.
after you joined direct PhD, within 4 years you completed it.
4 and 5. Yeah, I joined in
Oh,
2013, right? So I
okay.
was in 2018 November I defended
Okay.
2018. Yeah, yeah.
तो ये तो बहुत फास्ट पेस पे हुआ, बिकॉज आईआईटी कानपुर में आई हैव हर्ड दैट इट टेक्स लॉट ऑफ टाइम.
Yeah, it's because of my supervisor. Yeah,
Okay.
he's like
Good.
very good in that aspect. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you don't want to take credit to your efforts and commitment and dedication,
No,
huh?
I think my efforts would not have been resulted
Mm.
in anything if it was not for him,
Yes,
who
surely.
like
Mm.
who
Mm.
actually even told us how to write things, like
Mm.
in
Mm.
basic English he taught us how to write. So that's very
Okay,
very
so Professor Bedi, now let's come to internship part. You mentioned that you were there for 3 months of internship abroad or
yes,
something.
yes.
Please tell the people who are listening to you about the relevance of such internships. Why this
Oh,
should be done and
I guess like they were one of the major contributors to change my thought process, if let's just say.
okay. Mm,
So before those internships, I would say that I was not aware of the world view of research. I was totally confined
mm,
from my lab, from discussions
mm,
with my supervisor, and
mm,
whatever we discussed. So it was just like what is good, what is not bad. But when I went for internships, I talked to other researchers in the area, and then I get to know
mm,
like what is the pace at which people do research. So it really changed the way I
mm,
looked at research, like completely.
mm,
So it really shaped in that
mm,
matter. Like that feedback
mm,
was very
mm,
important.
mm. So, does every student get opportunity in IITs to go for internship, or it is dependent upon again professor and your research work?
I think it is again professor. So it's
Okay.
again for him.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm. So, at what stage then you decided, no, PhD is coming to culmination, PhD is coming to an
Yeah.
end, and you are going to now work for defending of it. And at what
Yes.
stage then you started thinking, what to do? Because PhD के बाद भी बहुत से opportunities and options open होते हैं. So, at what stage you started
Yes. Yes.
seriously thinking?
Yeah, so after 3.5 year or fourth year, like I had already done my one internship, like in telecom
Mm,
Paris Tech, and
mm,
during the final years of my PhD, I was sure like I want to do research only, like in
mm,
whatever form. It could be in
mm,
industry, it could
mm,
be in
mm,
academia, or it could be like a research
mm.
lab or something. But it has to be associated with paper writing research, like academic research, not
Okay.
product oriented research. I
Mm,
was sure
mm,
for that. And
mm,
then I even like after submitting my PhD thesis in India, we have 6 to 7 months before we get the
yeah,
reviews and then we defend, right?
mm,
So in that time, I even went for Qualcomm internships in Hyderabad. So there I
mm,
get to know more about industrial research and all, and
mm,
then I get more clarity. Okay, what I
mm,
want to do and which direction I
mm,
want to go. I
mm.
was really looking forward to join, but then I got an opportunity to do postdoc in the US. So I thought maybe like I was
Okay.
almost ready to join Qualcomm. I really liked it there, but then I thought, oh, I have this opportunity to do postdoc and do more research, and let's go there, explore it, and then later on I will decide. I kept on decide the
Okay.
decision later
Okay,
things.
okay. So, Professor Amrit, I want you to also tell briefly about your research work in PhD. So,
Mhm.
as per my knowledge, you are from electronics and communication background in graduation.
Yes,
And
yes.
please tell us when you did your PhD, what was that research domain in which you completed your
Yes,
PhD?
yes. Yeah, so because in IIT Kanpur, there is no. I did my undergrad in electronics and communication engineering, but in IIT Kanpur there is no electronics and communication. It is only the electrical engineering
Electrical
department,
department.
and
Yeah.
within that department there is a like sub department kind of which is signal processing and communication. It's called SPCOM, and I was in
Mm.
that. So it
Okay.
was mostly around the signal processing, and
Mm.
in the starting years it was even around wireless communication. But towards
Okay.
the end of my PhD, I was
Mm.
totally mostly doing
Mm.
research in machine learning domain, and
Mm.
I transitioned from signal processing to
Mm.
machine learning
Mm.
in my PhD.
Mm.
And after
Mm.
that, my whole research has been in machine learning,
Mm.
and recently, even like
Okay.
the latest part of machine learning, which is like language models. I'm working on that right now.
Mhm. Mm. So, at what stage you started shifting it? Because right now you are in computer science department, Professor Vedi,
Yes,
in
yes.
University of South Florida. So, at what stage is this all started changing and shifting?
Yeah, I think after I did my internship, it like 3.5 year of my PhD, like with
Mm.
towards the fourth year, when I was about to complete my fourth year, then I started
Mm.
completely
Mm.
changed my research area. Yeah.
Mm. When I discuss with the students and I tell them that academically or temperament wise, if you're inclined for academics or R&D temperament wise, your interest also lies there. These courses are
Mhm.
good. I mean, masters and PhD courses are good. But then there is something in their mind. Students think that after PhD, the only option, at least in India, if I from speaking from Indian perspective, only option left is in teaching. And
Mhm.
teaching students have very different kind of perspective in India, as you must be aware. So they think that industrial jobs will not be there. So what is your take on them, since you said that okay,
Yeah,
Qualcomm was option was there?
I think I think it is actually the opposite. Like most of my friends, my batchmates, very less of them are like only one or two are actually doing
Mm,
teaching or are
mm,
professors. Most of them are industry only in
mm,
India
mm,
only. So like
mm,
Qualcomm hires after PhD, like
mm,
Samsung hires after PhD,
mm,
Microsoft hires after PhD.
mm,
Now
mm,
Google also hires after
mm,
PhD,
mm,
and
mm,
like Apple is there. They also hire after PhD. So there are lots of companies in India now where like they hire after PhD, and they even prefer because
mm,
um,
mm,
PhD has trained those students
mm,
like the really the dedication of working on one problem and
mm,
solving
mm,
it without
mm,
without losing it, or
mm,
they are less,
mm,
they look
mm,
like they are more calm working on a problem. So that is a very
mm,
useful like trait for the company from student
mm.
perspective.
Okay,
Lots of
so
lots.
yeah, so Professor Reddy, as a mentor, as a teacher, guide, I keep on interacting with so many my students, and I find that after graduation, also after post graduation, also they have reached very good positions in industries also, and they are doing wonderful. And other day, I was talking to one of my another student who did his PhD from US, and now he's working in NVIDIA and he's doing quite good. He told me a line. He said that. The delayed success is a very good success. I mean, the more you delay it, I mean, delayed gratifications, it really is very helpful. And he was trying to
Mhm.
justify, that okay, I went into the research and I acquired new knowledge, and today I'm set for my company.
Mhm.
Again, the same question I'll ask you, like, how do you justify that? Okay, these many years in research, like PhD, when a student comes to you and says, "Sir, I'm getting Qualcomm after my BTech or after my MTech also. Why you suggest me to join it after PhD? And why should I
Mhm.
invest 4 or 5 years in PhD? I can invest that in industry also." What is your take on that?
Yeah, so that's a very good thought, but I don't completely agree with that. I think it would be like I would not call it delayed success. So it is
Mm,
for me it's more like if a student is, let's just say, already frustrated studying
mm,
like higher
mm,
studies,
mm,
then he
mm,
gets a job, and then I
mm.
come in and say that, oh no, you will get a better job after PhD, and
If you
then I
वो ठीक
wrong.
नहीं है.
That's the wrong, right?
Mm,
So
mm.
it's actually from the student's angle. If
It should
student is
come
really
from.
it and
Mm,
enjoying the research,
mm,
and then he
mhm,
gets a job as he or she gets a job as an opportunity, but still they have that like, oh, I want to
mm,
do higher studies.
mm,
For them
mm,
it is not even delayed success. For them, like
mhm,
even PhD is
mm,
immediate success. So
mm,
it's a
mm,
very
mm,
subjective in that aspect. So if somebody is
mm,
like, I think it is all about then like enjoying in some manner. It's not even about
mm,
passion, because sometimes we
mm,
even don't know what our passion is, but at least
mm,
one thing is for sure, we should be like enjoying whatever we are doing. And then if that enjoy lies in the job, very well,
mm,
I wouldn't even say do anything else.
mm,
So
mm.
if that is there,
That's
right?
true.
So, but
Okay,
because
now.
that sometimes can
Mm,
be very like it's a spectrum of experiences, and it could be very boring also. It's not
mm,
like it's always very like a
true.
happy thing, right? So
True,
that's
true. Because I've seen so many students even quitting in midway.
yes,
I
yes,
mean, they
yes.
don't cope up with that. Okay, Professor Bedi, now I know so many of my friends, so many of my students, those who complete their doctorate, postdoctorates in foreign countries, and they join Indian institutes or R&D companies. I find very less people who complete their entire education in India, at least
Mm-hmm.
till PhD level, and then become faculty in US. I
Hmm.
find very less such examples, and you are one of such examples. So please tell me how it all went actually, because after PhD, foreign university, whether you call it QS ranking or something, the US universities normally do not accept PhDs from IITs or PhD from India as in the faculty positions. Now I want you to tell us about your journey in US after PhD.
Yeah, so I think that's true. They will not directly accept unless we have done a breakthrough in PhD. Then anybody will accept. Uh,
Okay.
but like after PhD, I was almost done with my PhD in 2018, and then
Mm,
I was like for 2 or 3 years I was doing postdoc, and then 2 years I was a research professor in University of Maryland. So I spent 5 years after my PhD doing research. So it's like almost a
Mm.
second PhD, I would say, right,
Yes.
in US. And
Mm.
then I started. So if you want to look at it that way, it could be like another PhD in the US, and
Mm.
then it
Mm.
happened. But like I didn't do it intentionally again. Like it
Mm.
was just
Mm.
like, oh, that next was the postdoc I did it. Next was that the research I did that.
Mm.
So it's yeah.
Mm. Okay. So now coming to your present assignment, present job activities. So you are presently assistant professor in computer science department. Please tell
Yes.
us about your university and your research domains.
Yeah, so my university is in Florida, like the northern part of the Florida, and Florida is the south of United States, and it is like the name is University of Central Florida, and I'm in computer science department, and this university is very well known for computer vision. I think it is in
Mm.
uh, top 6 or 7 in CS
Mm.
rankings
Okay.
in
Mm.
the United States
Mm.
for computer vision, and then
Mhm.
my research lies in the machine learning and reinforcement learning area. And
Okay.
recently, University of Central Florida has invested a lot in AI initiative. They have started an AI institute, Artificial
Mm.
Intelligence Institute, and under
Mm.
that initiative, they are going to hire 30 faculties in the overall
Mm.
the whole campus, and they have all like School of
Mm.
Sciences, Material Science, and Physics,
Mm.
and like optics and all. And in all the schools, they will
Mm.
hire some faculty. So in computer science
Mm.
department, they hired me for that
Mm.
under that
Mm.
initiative. And there are some
Mm.
other faculties, but yeah, as
Mm.
assistant professor, they hired me,
Mm.
and
Mm.
I'm supposed to work on this like AI part
Mm.
of research and
Mm.
lead a lab or
Mm.
develop a lab on the cutting edge artificial intelligence research.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. Okay.
that's what
So
I do.
Professor Amrit, you said you were lucky to have a very good professor in India.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what kind of professor are you for your students?
Yeah, we are yet to see. Like, I don't have even one PhD student. So I just got
Okay.
one PhD student. He's coming from India.
Okay.
Like, I think
Mm.
he just got the visa, and then he's
Mm.
coming next month. So maybe
Mm.
after 1 year or 2 years,
Mm.
we can answer that question.
Okay, good. So now coming to opportunities for Indian students. Many of viewers who will be listening to you and watching your this video will be students who will be aspiring to join foreign universities. So I want you to tell us first about the opportunities for Indian students in US. Now you are there for a quite long duration, and University of Maryland is a very reputed university, and now University of Central Florida, you are there, and you have worked in a couple of labs also, especially defense labs. So, Professor Bedi, please tell us what are the opportunities for Indian students in US?
Yeah, there are lots of opportunities. Like it depends whether somebody wants to come after undergrads or like after masters or after PhD. So after undergrad, of course, like there are direct PhDs in US also, but
Mm.
especially they are for very like a highly like and the undergrads from IITs who are really top, they get direct PhD admissions in the US for those
Mm. Mm.
positions. And
Mhm.
like after masters also there are like lots of opportunities like to do PhD in the US. But after
Mm.
undergrad, some students can also come for masters, and then after
Mm.
masters there are like lots of job opportunities in the US, so they can also go for PhD. So all these are like and once you are here and you do work, or even either you study or you do research, and after that you see like there are lots of more opportunities opens up as you go.
Mm. Okay. So when you look for a student from India,
Mhm.
what do you see in his credentials? Whom will
Yeah.
you hire for a PhD program or something, or direct PhD program?
Yeah, for example, for my hiring now, I am trying to look, or like we have openings in our lab, and then I just hired one student. I need to hire more students. So mostly, I'm first of all I'm looking for masters who have done masters,
Mm.
and in masters, because my research is in like I'm in computer science department, but like my research is much more like from a mathematical perspective, like algorithmic development and mathematical guarantees for the algorithm. So I try to look for students who have background in those like fundamental courses of mathematics, like linear algebra, or like random processes, like stochastic optimization or optimization, reinforcement learning. All those, I think,
Mm.
lots of good Indian colleges have like lots of like really good courses on that. So the
Yes.
student who have done those courses, and
Mm.
then that's like a very good match. If they have written any good paper, research paper in
mm,
any
mm,
top
mm,
venue,
mm,
that's like a really, really great
mm,
plus.
mm,
And then
mm,
that stands out. Like when some
mm,
professor look at the thing, and they
mm,
if they
mm,
look at like, okay, you have published in a really top journal, I think
mm,
that's a very big positive. And
mm,
otherwise, I think the credentials, like your courses you have done, and then if any
okay.
project you have done,
Mm,
or any
mm,
research internships you have done. So more or less, I think it is everybody is looking for research aptitude. And then if somebody has shown that,
mm,
like
mm,
through some project, through some internship, I think that's what everybody, if I'm not wrong,
mm.
is looking
Mm,
for.
okay. Mm.
Yeah.
Professor Bedi,
Mm.
you are a typical case where you started your journey from very humble academic background, like your college, graduation college is ordinary engineering college in Punjab, and then but you went for master PhD from a reputed institute in IIT Kanpur. My question to you is like when you see some candidate his background from a reputed institute is how much important is that or student like Bedi can be anywhere they can be in any ordinary colleges also. Let's say some student has done masters from very ordinary college and but his research work is pretty good, so how do you decide it like a student should be taken from IIT or NIT only or should he be taken on the basis of his research background and
Yeah,
credentials?
so that's a very good question you have asked. It is actually a very big problem from a professor perspective in the United States. You're asking for the classifier, right? If student
Mm.
falls here,
Mm.
I'll
How do
hire,
you,
otherwise not. And this is
huh.
like one of the biggest problem in the US for professors. Like professors who are from big universities, they get like very good candidates. They don't need to worry about it. But when like and why people actually hire students from
Mm.
big university or top ranked schools, because
Mm.
that's a clear metric that student is good, like in
Okay,
on
one of the
some,
material.
like
Mm.
it's a very
Mm.
easy way
Mm.
to predict someone. Like, okay, if somebody is from really top school, or they are
Mm.
like they have some good grades, that's at least a metric that the student is sincere, and they can do. Because otherwise, if you look, then it comes on part of the professor to do that search, right? To look
Mm.
specifically through the CVs of the student and check for
Mm.
things, and then it becomes a really, really hard. Then the more you try to search, it more becomes a betting
Mm.
rather than a
Mm.
decision. So the
Mm.
easiest thing is you have the best student from the best institute, done,
Mm.
very easy.
Mm.
But
Mm.
the of course, like there are students, but then from professor also has limited time. Like they
Mm.
cannot
Mm.
invest so much time in
Mm.
just searching for students. I told you,
Mm.
right? Like if there is some
Mm.
thing which can connect, make this
Mm.
connect, is also very, very
Mm.
useful. Saying that those
Mm.
students are already being
Mm.
like a clear, like, oh, these are like very good students who have shown research
Mm.
aptitude, and then I think they
Mm.
could will have very good
Mm.
opportunities here
Mm.
also. But it's like,
Mm.
I mean, it's like very like a it's like a very like a debatable point, which like makes sense, like why somebody from local university cannot be good,
Mm.
very well
Mm.
taken, but then it comes out
Mm.
some way they need to stand out to showing
Mm.
something. So, and
Mm.
one way to stand out is go to a big college, and that college will make
Mm.
them stand out. Or unless
Mm.
you do something really great on your CV, you will stand out.
Mm.
So some
Mm.
way, whoever is hiring, they will look for at least for one metric in terms of standing out, whether you
Okay.
are like
Mm.
done very good. So that metric could be anything. You could be from very good
Mm.
college. You have shown some very good caliber. You are from very normal college, but you have done really something
Very
great.
good.
That becomes
Mm.
a,
Mm.
a outlier for you.
Mm.
So
So there should be something to be shown.
something to stand
Mm.
out. I think it's not just
Mm.
about the college. Like even if you have some independently done very great thing which has picked
Mm.
something or internet, and like everybody's looking for your research idea or something, I
Mm.
think even from a very local college, student can go to Stanford if that much caliber
Okay.
they
Mm.
have.
Good.
Uh, but it is very hard again. Like doing that is
Mm.
also very, like,
Mm.
betting on
Mm.
someone from a big college is very easy.
Yeah,
So,
good. Okay, Amrit, now some of your friends, he was telling me that Amrit Bedi, one of his research paper is doing wonders, and even Elon Musk has commented on his research paper. How true is that? I mean,
yeah,
you have
I'm
done
not
some
sure exactly
transformational
about
research.
about Elon Musk, but I think, yeah, I mean some of the research we were working on the detection of AI generated text, which has become really big issue,
Mm,
right? Like
mm,
with all the blessings of ChatGPT, that is a curse.
mm,
Like if somebody now writes something, we don't know whether it is written by human or AI. So we
mm,
shown some mathematically shown the possibility that, okay, even if it is written by a machine, like in
mm,
underworld
mm,
circumstances, we should be able to detect it. It's not like impossible to do
mm.
that. So that
Okay.
got some. some attention. And recently we are working on the alignment problem. Like if we have an AI system, everybody wants that AI to behave
mm,
as human wants. It's like
mm,
human wants the children, or like others, or teacher want the students to behave like the teacher
mm,
wants. So
mm,
how
mm,
can we teach our AI systems to
mm,
behave the way we want them to behave? So it's called the
mm.
alignment problem, like aligning
Correct.
AI with
Mm,
humans. So we are
mm,
working on that problem recently,
mm,
and it's very exciting for me. Like it's
mm.
like a really open research problem. Everybody is working on
Wonderful.
that. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, Professor Amit, we have reached almost an end of this wonderful session. But I'll ask you the research areas or research domains in which you are working presently. And
Mhm.
this question is for all of the students who are listening to us. And maybe they will make up their mind that, okay, these are the research areas in which I should proceed forward, or maybe I should join someday Professor Amrit Bedi. So, please
Yeah.
suggest some research areas.
Yeah, so currently, where I'm very much focusing on is actually related to generative AI, where we use artificial intelligence to generate something, and that generation could be generating a text, generating an image, generating a video with some prompt as an input. And then once we have done that generation, the first research problem I'm working on is alignment, whether that generation is aligning with my expectations or not, and then how to make sure that happens. The second
Mm,
problem we are working is, now you have generated, we need to detect whether the image, video, or text is written by AI or human. It's called the AI detection problem. I'm working on
mm,
that. And another problem I'm working on is, now all of these generative AI, how can we
mm,
connect it with robotics? Like
mm,
when we try to use these all advanced AI for robotics, there is
mm,
a big
mm,
problem of safety.
mm,
Like if somebody, what if somebody attack that AI system,
mm,
because it is just like
mm,
writing a text at the input, and if somebody gives a
mm,
bad instruction, will my
mm,
robot, should my robot obey that or not?
mm,
Ideally, it should obey, but it should also
mm,
figure out whether
mm,
it is a bad instruction or not. Or like, we
mm,
don't need to put our hand in the fire to realize it is a bad action, right? So we can do that
mm,
from our sense. So how to
mm,
make sure that happens with an AI system
mm,
when robot is assigned?
mm,
So I'm
mm,
working on safety of
mm,
robotics when we use AI for there. And
mm,
then like trustworthiness of these AI models. And
mm,
overall, it's like umbrella is under machine learning, artificial intelligence, but specifically I told you, like AI alignment, AI detection, safety of AI systems, all these things I'm working on currently.
Wonderful. So that's wonderful, Professor Bedi. So I think yeah, we have come to an end of this wonderful session, and
Sure,
I
sure.
must say that when students will listen to this or whosoever will be listening to this, will get right perspective about academics, about industry, about education in India, education abroad, and how to explore the opportunities and which are the research areas. Started your academics with the electronics and communication, as you said, signal processing, and now you are presently in cut throat competitive domains of computer science. So yeah, that is wonderful transformational research you are into, Professor Bedi, and I thank you for the time you gave, and I also wish you all the very best. Catch you couple
Thank
of
you.
years down the line again in the
Yeah.
next sequel video. Thank you,
Yeah.
Professor Bedi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.